All right, good morning, traders, and welcome to the All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll go through the live order flow. All right, good morning, and take a look and see what's happening in the markets to gain insight to where it might go next based on reading the order flow. That's the beauty of order flow, is by understanding the participants' behavior, we can understand where price might go next instead of looking at some sort of indicator of time, price, and volume, trying to understand that. We can look directly at the participants' behavior and the orders. That is the best way of understanding where price might go next. It's just how it works. It's how the auction process works. General disclosure: all Bookmap Ltd materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in and see what's going on in here. You can see the S&P for the moment here. We have the opening kind of momentum drive here to the upside. Nice move, and you can see that pre-market here, some back and forth in here. Here's our 930 cash open, just to the downside, testing down in here around this 25 level, and then we see the momentum come in. Okay, so yeah, this we've covered this in our flag pattern many times over, but this is more of, it's not really a flag pattern per se, because there's a lot of things in here that are, it's very different. It's kind of a version of it. And good morning, Alan. I decided to come back to your roots. All right. Good morning, trading for a living. And Alois. Let's see over in Discord, how's everybody? All right, good morning, Rob, and you got some good stuff there already, I see. Oh yeah, some great stuff. Great content in here, guys. Good stuff. Morning, Crash. Crash, I really am curious now about how you got your name. So one of these days here, we're going to have a Bookmap Academy meeting, actually, so you can get on the mic and describe that one to us. So Wednesday at the market close, we'll go through trade reviews from the Bookmap Academy. All right. Yeah, really want to hear it. I'll talk more about the Bookmap Academy in just a minute. So anyway, talking about this flag pattern in here, I mean, there is very clearly a flag pattern right here. Strong move, pullback, low volume. It's not much of a pullback at all. Look at the volume here, followed by another strong move. Now this is a little different. Now it's let me show you again here from our Bookmap Academy. Okay. Oh, for you guys interested in the Black Friday event, so information coming out about that very, very soon. So some deals are just around the corner here. If you're interested in this, yeah, let me just show it to you. The Learning Center from the More button, strategies and setups here, go to that. And then the continuation pattern here, this flag pattern. Now we covered it in here. There's four different videos in here, but these three are the bulk of it. Seeing it in diagram form, seeing it within Bookmap, and then seeing how to go through the checklist here to look for something that is higher probability. One of the elements in here is the consolidation. This here is a really important factor, because this is where we're looking for a squeeze. We're looking for someone that got it wrong. We're looking for this impulse move to pull that market up, and we're looking for shorts to have to cover and buy. That will add to this nice strong move. And then we're looking for a shallow pullback followed by another strong move. All right, so here it's a little different. Now it's different though in a few different senses in here. Okay, one is this is the cash open, right? So it is just momentum coming out of the gate here, and we know that, for example, look at all the volume here that is transacted, and look at the pre-market. Okay, there's not much, right? So everything changes at 9:30. So it does in a sense have it's the morning drive move here based on high volume. Okay, so the there's some caveats in here on this move though, because how many times have we saw this strong buying coming in? We're looking for it to come up into here. Great, we'll take some profits off on that, because how many times have you gotten in and then have it come all the way back down and then some, and then totally reverse, right? So risk management on these strong moves. Okay, look for your profit taking in something like this. Now, so that's very different than in here. You're not looking for this move. You're looking for the pullback, and then you're waiting for the buyers to come back in over here in the video here.
The move begins
right
to
in
unfold.
Here, right? So you can see it, and that's where we're looking for it. Well, technically, it would be, we look for that buyers to be down in here, but this is a diagram form. Anyway, now I would not be looking for getting involved in here necessarily. It's because of this open here, right? Once you see it maybe above in here, it's looking a little bit better. Maybe I'd be very leery, maybe taking some profit up in here, and or at least some off, and then stop to break even, because you don't want to miss the opening drive, right? Maybe it just continues on up, and like it is right now, and you want to take advantage of that opening drive. Look at who's in control, right? But you don't know at this point, is my point. And where you can really see it pick up is above this area, actually. And now you're starting to understand it in terms of maybe a different flag pattern or continuation pattern. Strong move, pull back, strong move. Now it's losing its strong move element here, as you can see. It's trading into high liquidity. We're not getting this angle here with high volume. We're getting high volume, but look how this angle has tapered off. Okay, so you can see, well, go like this, and like this. Okay, so that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for, in terms of the strong move, we're looking for this, maybe some back and forth, then followed by this. Okay, and this should be rather equal to this one over here. First impulse move equal to the second impulse move. Right. Anyway, it does not matter here. You're not looking for a perfect flag pattern. You're looking at the order flow. Right. Big distinction here. Okay. So and understanding the order flow, because there's all sorts of opportunities in here that you might pass up if you're looking for a perfect flag pattern. Right. So it's understanding the concepts behind it in the order flow in here that's going to make a big difference. All right. So anyway, you can see we've traded up into high liquidity up in here, 42.5, and now we're starting to see some selling coming in. Okay, so still staying with the move to the upside until we see something else, right? So we're going to get pullbacks, but we know that the buyers still remain in control. So we can even look for the potential, maybe down below this swing in here, and then we see buyers kind of gobble it back up and come back up into this area here, right? So different scenarios that we need to go through in the order flow, understand what we're looking for. All right, so I wanted to cover that in the beginning here, yeah, kind of curious here. They're on the offer here. We're starting to see some sellers. Yeah, I mean, likely a move down to 38 here, and yeah, we might get a move down into 36 here. I don't know. I don't see a lot on the offer at a lower area in here, and we know that the move is still strong from the buy side. Okay, so I'm still kind of looking for exactly this scenario here. Off of the, I'd like to see it go dip below the swing a little bit more, see some stops hit if we can. None have been hit yet. Okay, and then I'd look for those buyers to come back in and try to move it back up. Right. So kind of shifting from momentum move to maybe sideways move. Right. So understanding the shifts in the order flow. Okay, that shift might be taking place here. Might be. Okay, we're keeping an eye on this here. Okay, around this 41 and a quarter. Okay, and yeah, looking for a retest back up there by the buyers. Anyway, lots of variations you can see that you can go through, start to understand. And these are the scenarios you want to go through. And then this is where you can start to build out your setup. Okay, what are you looking for? What are the things in here? You can use this new tool that we put together, the setups checklist here. Okay, and you can look for specific things. This is by default in here to look for these elements in here, just like we're going through in the scenarios. Like in this scenario, what we covered, or one of the elements in here we're looking for is not identifying trap buyers and sellers in here, but we're looking for the strong move, and we're looking to see if we continue. So this would be a different list that you can put together. And if you're interested in that, well, you can modify it, export. You can add a file in here and import the file. It's just a CVS file, and import whatever you like. And then if you see the thing that you're looking for in here, you can put your check mark, and then you can grade it. Okay, is it good? Right? You can say that I'm looking for an 8 or better, and then just tallying that down here, right here, your average score. Okay, so I've already have 2, I have a 6 and an 8. That's 14 divided by 2. That's 7. There you go. All right, so we add another one in here. You know, you can see the numerical value or average change here. If you guys are interested in this, let me show you where it is. Okay, we just put this together in Discord. So go to the Discord channel and scroll up to the top here. Okay, and then you'll see it under the blue jacket here, or just below it here. Education Library, Bookmap Academy, right here. Okay, you guys should have access to this. Right, so go there, and then you'll see in here posts that we put in. Right, so this is what we have. We have the setups checklist is right here. You can click on this. You can download the jar file here, and you can add it. Good to go. Those of you who are part of the Bookmap Academy, you should have access to it. Okay, we have your license key, and we've given you access. Also, Bookmap Academy guys, you guys get free access to now this is for a limited time for the Market Pulse add-on right here. So click on that, and then you'll see the post on the right here. Download Market Pulse here, or yeah, I think that'll download it here. Then add it to the your add-ons, and also we have the new absorption and sweeps indicators that you can add in and use in Market Pulse as well. Okay, so you guys, part of the academy, this is one of the benefits you get, is to be able to access pre-released add-ons. All right, so if you're interested in that academy, go to bookmap.com, click on the More button, and then under Community, Bookmap Academy. Okay, and this is where you sign up. These are the steps. This is the information here. You can get Bookmap for free if you make it along the way here. All right, so there's a process. All right, so yeah, I just wanted to cover the setup here, the setups checklist, and then Bookmap Academy for because you can get all of that for free basically. Let's get back into the order flow. One more thing before we do here, let's look at the higher time frame. Right, so the look at their candlestick chart. Since it's Monday, we want this insight, this is our daily on the left, our hourly in the center, and our 15-minute on the right. What's going on here in the price action? Okay, so we've been covering this for a while now. As you can see, some weeks in here, we had very strong fundamental data with very strong price action. So it's very clear who's in control. And then we had 1 week of chop. We ended the week on Friday here, looking pretty good for the continuation. But it wasn't. We had to wait until Monday, and we had to wait until we broke above here on volume. Okay, so we chopped for Monday, and then Tuesday was off to the races again. This was also due to CPI data. Here's the gap right here. CPI data came in, and at 8:30, we opened at 9:30, way up here. Right now, this was still game for us. We're still in the hunt here, but not by much. Right, we were looking for it to go higher, but we were already at 9:30. We were pretty close to the highs up here, so we were still looking for it to come up into the swings up in here, and then hit some of the stops, or see if there's more sellers in here or profit takers at that point. Okay, and then we're looking for chop that day, and that's what turned out here, more or less like that. The reason being is because we covered the ATR, the average true range, on the daily chart here. Okay, so we don't have high expectations. Okay? ATR is a really good way to start to understand your moves, and we can take a look at that in Market Pulse. I can show you some scenarios in here, how to use Market Pulse to look for ATR and volume pressure together. All right, so actually, Crash, I think you've been doing this. No, so you can see I'm looking for that retest back up here from the buy side. Well, it retested a few times, but it never got back up to the 41.25 here. In fact, you can see the structure that it created. It's more or less like this. Here's our structure here, and then here's our structure here, and now we just broke. Right? So we're seeing the sellers come in. Right? Now, we talked about this already in terms of order flow, that this was a potential reversal. Weren't ready for it yet, and we talked about this selling in here, maybe taking control. Okay, we don't know until later, basically we can look at some of the order flow in here, and then look for that potential drop here, it is in here. I don't see much actually on the offer to give us too much insight here. Some up here for sure, and then they pulled a little bit here, but not a whole lot. Looks like some heavy selling coming in and hitting some pretty big stops along the way here. We have 500, 600, 700 stops in here or so. All right. So let's see, where was I going with all of this? All right, Market Pulse. All right, so let me show you how to integrate this with Market Pulse in here. There's some other things I want to show you as well, but we'll start off here. I think this is a good way to go. All right, so I've created a bunch in here already. Let's actually just get rid of them all, and we'll start afresh. Hit the create button here. It outlines it and flashes, and then we're in the ES here. So let's click on and scroll down here. We're going to look at volume pressure. And then we're going to click on the instrument here. Okay, we're going to select the ES and deselect gold. Note how you can look at multiple in here now. Okay, this is a new feature in here. Really great feature. So really like it. We're just going to look at the ES though. Okay, and then bring the volume down. drive ourselves crazy. We're going to click play, show the widget. Let's add another one. Okay, it pops up on the top here. Okay, and then here we will select price change. Okay, the price change one is actually free for everybody, just so you guys know, and it's a good one. Okay, and then let's click play. Okay, note how in price change you can only select one, and that makes pretty good sense. But anyway, we're going to look at just these two. All right, these two Market Pulse add-ons, and we're going to look for when we get actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do something else. I'm going to do this here. We're going to change volume pressure into volume pressure imbalance and then click play. Okay, this will make it easier to read in the subchart. All right, there we go. All right, so we're going to look for when we hear price change. When it's red down here, it was pinging in price change here. It looks like it was pinging in both here. This is giving us a really good signal here. All right, here's why, and this is how you can use this Market Pulse tool, or at least it's a starting point for your back testing. Okay, because I'm really amazed like how well this works. You can go back and back test it just by hand by looking at the extreme readings in here, play with the settings, and go back and test it other settings in here. But look at some of these settings in here, and we're getting price change and volume pressure both pinging. What does that mean? Well, it's telling us here something. The price change is actually kind of telling us here, in essence, ATR. Okay, now we're starting to see how it's starting to ping right now. Price change. You can hear it in YouTube very faintly. It's this kind of tick, tick, tick. Right now it's starting to pick up. Okay, so now what about volume pressure? All right. Okay, so up here, this is a pullback here. Pretty strong move. I'm actually looking for price sellers to come in and move this back down now. Okay, why? Right, here's why. Because as we go through and talk about ATR, okay, now it's only using these two indicators. We're not using order flow here so much. We'll get into the order flow in a second. We're just going over these two indicators with Market Pulse. Price change pings when we get up into these areas here. Okay, we did not get a price change here on the pullback, and then we got another price change up into here. Okay, it's because of the ATR. Basically, it's moved a certain amount, and then the price change is alerting us. Okay, so it's exactly working like ATR. All right, we get another small pullback. Okay, this is indicative of an uptrend. Big moves, small pullback, big move, small pullback, big move, and yet again up here, price change. And price change and volume pressure. Okay, volume pressure means when the volume has hit a certain amount, we in an imbalance in here over a 5-minute period in this setting, then we get this volume pressure. Okay, and it crosses the threshold here of 70%. All right, so we did get a small pullback in here after this reading, but that's it. Okay, it's gone a bit higher here. All right, still looking for, we can note it in here as well. Like it still went a bit higher in some of these areas in here. So now we're starting to see sellers roll in. Great. Now we're looking for maybe the pullback to here, and we would target high liquidity 37.5. And now that's being a little disrupted here already by this liquidity that just popped into the order book here at 38 and 3/4. Okay, so there they go, trading through it. Our volume pressure picking up, but no price change yet. So staying with it until we get the price change. Okay, look at that liquidity pulling it. Look at the imbalance here in the order book. okay, pushing this market lower. Okay, so almost at 37. Okay, still looking for that 37. Look at the order book on the offer in this area in here, and there's some on the bid at 37. Sure, there's a big skew in the order book here. Okay, so we might even get a move all the way back down here as well. Okay, now 37 just transacted. Okay, we can see not all of this liquidity absorbed the selling pressure so far, but anyway, that was our target. Okay, you wouldn't have gotten filled here, but you might here right now. Yeah, let's see it, sellers. Let's see what you can do. Screen's a little dark. Should be okay. Lucero. Lucero, I think you're part of the Bookmap Academy, and you've been creating some great content. Oh, this is Xavier. Yeah, this is DNT matter. Yeah. Oh, okay. Everything's good now. All right. Yeah. All right. So anyway, we did get the pullback we were looking for. 37 did transact. Now, how do you, like, I hate this kind of stuff here when it we're only looking for a small move in here, and I like to manage, personally, I like to manage my trades off of that. Now, I didn't know if we would blaze. I thought we'd actually see the sellers hit this hard and then continue on lower. We didn't. Okay, we have a lot of liquidity on the offer, and you can see the buyers are going after it. Okay, so I'm out, right? I like to get out actually in front of the high liquidity by one tick, so you would have gotten filled in here. Okay, and that's important for me, for my trade management. I'm looking for the move to unfold. It is higher probability for me. I'm looking for managing that trade, and I'm looking for the next setup, and then probably I would have gotten stopped out here at break even for the rest. Right, I wasn't looking for this buying to come in like this at this time. I was looking for another move back down below. All right, and I look for the next setup. All right, so anyway, and the ATR, we didn't, it actually makes sense we didn't get the price change on that one. Actually, yeah, you can see it here. Here's price change here, right? And we didn't get it. Why? Well, because the price change wasn't big enough compared to what this algo has been reading over the last 5 minutes of data. Okay, so there's a bigger move on the buy side. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. And this is another scenario to consider when using these two together. If you're in an uptrend here, you're not going to see price change. Most likely, you're not going to see price change give you a signal down here. Okay, like here. Okay, or like here. Okay, because it's the bigger moves that are giving you the price change. Right. So what to look for here on price change would be liquidity or price structure or let's see here. Let me get rid of volume pressure imbalance here. Okay, or return back to the zero line here. Okay, look for areas where it returned back to previously as well. Okay, see these little areas in here, right? So it's working pretty well because we're in an uptrend. Back to zero line, uptrend, back to zero line, uptrend. Okay, and maybe it's a little shy of the zero line. Maybe it's this is what you need to look at for your back testing when it's trending, okay, to look for it. Right, so here's our volume pressure again, okay, but we're probably not going to get price change. Let's take a look. Actually, we did. All right, so yeah, I'm holding off here. I don't want to sell at the bottom of the range in here, okay, and look for that scenario. Yeah, I don't like it though. Like here's why. Here we could just see kind of a small pullback and then the continuation down like we were looking for over here. All right, but basically these two indicators are telling us we're looking for buyers right now. All right, here they come. So let's see, we get a little more at 38. Let's see if they can lift it back up into about 39.5. Now it's only a 1.5, and then take some off and then hold for stop at break even and hold for a bigger move. Now you can see this is a scalper's dream in here using these two. All right, just be careful with your trade management in here. And as well, you can start to match up this with your liquidity. Okay, so again, the three things we've been covering again and again for years. We're looking at price structure, transactions, and the order flow, which is the liquidity. What is that context, right? Again and again and again. So we're just using these two indicators here with the market pulse to give us additional insight, right? So the move down, you can see we've already come up to our 39.5. I'm out of position and holding. Stop to break even at that point, okay? And maybe I get a runner out of this. Okay, if I see something else change in the order flow, then I would consider just exiting altogether. Okay, because we're looking at kind of range bound trading in here right now. Okay, so the range is between 37 and 40 right now. Any questions on this? Okay, it's a great way to use this tool. Just do your back testing. Stan, yes, you've got some great content in here. I noted it earlier on using Trader Map Pro and Bookmap. Okay, so here's Trader Map Pro that you're going through. Just break it out here. And what you're doing in here with Trader Map Pro, for those of you not familiar with it, is we can filter the order book in specific ways, especially, well, it has to be with the market by order data. Okay, that's critical. All right, so this is not going to work on stocks. It may work on some crypto exchanges. I don't think we have it working yet on some crypto exchanges that have MBO data, but it will definitely work on CME instruments. Okay, and Stan has very nicely seen some pulled liquidity or added liquidity, potential targets, etc. in here. Good stuff, Stan. So that's the next thing I want to go over here. But anyway, yeah, you can see our move up to 40 has unfolded. And we got an extreme reading almost on both of them here. Okay, it was just volume pressure. No, price change. Just price change. Okay, the volume pressure came kind of close here, but not close enough. All right. So yeah, I mean, if I don't have both of them up here, well, maybe I want to exit. Or, I mean, the price change worked out pretty well here. So I didn't get volume pressure up here. then maybe it's exhausting out. Maybe sellers are coming back in to move it right back down to 37. Anyway, guys, the trade management is up to you. What I see in here, boy, I would say, like, yeah, I would get out. Personally, I'm not looking for a breakout here. I'm seeing a lot of selling some of these areas in here, and they're selling up here. That remains in control of the moves so far. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, Stephen, you want us to go through Trader Map Pro? Sure, problem. Okay, volume pressure now starting to pick up. Price change close. Yeah, now we're getting extreme reading on both here. So let's look at this here closely. Now this could be a false breakout and looking for sellers to come in here. Now if there's enough in here, yep, I would look to sell and then trade it back down to another extreme reading, maybe down to 37. Now again, this is something to test, right? And not all of them are going to work, that's for sure. But you can see it's pretty uncanny. These two together can work very nicely. Okay, just match it up with some of your liquidity in here. And the scenario to go through up here is a trap volume. Okay, so let's see if we can get it actually right in here. So this would be our trap buyers in here. So we're looking for sellers here. Okay, right around 39 3/4. Right, we had our extreme readings here. We have reasons now. We're leaning on reasons here. It's not a feeling. We did very small back testing in here, very short back testing for this webinar. And we have a reason though. Okay, now we're waiting for this scenario to unfold in the order flow to look for the follow through. Okay, that is the distinction, big distinction here. Let's see it. We might even be able to see a little bit higher here, maybe 40, maybe 40 and a quarter. Look for sellers. All right, so we can even optimize the position. Anyway, this is a great tool here. Just using just these two together is working pretty well. Now again, we're still getting extreme readings here. Just price change, not volume pressure. Which is funny. Price, I don't know why price change was giving us such a extreme reading. This move here fit in the 5 minutes, I guess. That's as simple as that. Here we go. Here's our sellers. All right, now we want to see these sellers move this price, move away from this area here. Okay, strong move away. And we're not getting it. Let's see if we get it here on another retest. There they're starting to come in. All right, I like it. Let's see it, sellers. Let's see you try to move this away here. Nope, looks like the sellers might get squeezed. And the sellers are going to be on the back foot. See, this is the game in here, and this is the dicey part. Who's trapped? And we can wait for much better order flow for something in here to give us that insight. And this is not it, actually. They're on the bid here, and we're getting our buyers here. Yeah, it didn't really have it in here, to be honest. Like, I was looking, this one looked pretty good. We had some exhaustion here. We had this selling in here, but we didn't have really the order book on our side. And then they did here. Here the buyers had it on their side, right? This is what we look for actually for the breakout trade. Okay, order book skew here. They traded in. They didn't pull actually, but they traded into and through in here. Okay, so the buyers are breaking it out, right? So we didn't have all the pieces in here, really, right? But you know, what if you took this trade and it worked out nicely and didn't have all the pieces? Okay, we're looking at market pulse in here, and we had those two pieces, right? These are ways to look at and filter, looking for something higher probability. We're getting extreme readings again up here on price change. Okay, we're at highs of the day, 44. And looking for our sellers to trade it right back down here now. Nope. All right, here they come. Now, sellers got to follow through on this. And then we have a target now here with this liquidity that just came into the book. Actually, it looks like it was kind of pulled here and then added up at 40 3/4. Boy, it's still pretty bullish here. Well, let's see. Did we get a pull back to our zero line in here? Did on volume pressure, but not on price change. Price change is now there. Okay. Now it's down to the zero line. All right. Well, then this would, if we get our buyers up in here, then this would be a buy. All right. Now let's look at the order flow. And this would be the scenario here. Okay. We look for the buyers to come back in above, up in here, 43, and then for that move higher. Okay, based off of market pulse being at zero line in a trend, because we did break out. We're looking for this scenario here, which didn't really unfold. Had our order flow change in here. All right, we're starting to get our buyers up here. How's the order flow looking? All right, they pulled up here at 44. Are they adding on the bid? A little bit, not a whole lot. Now they're adding on the offer. How does price react to it? Bit more buying. All right, well, if we can auction up here. Buyers starting to auction up here just a little bit. We need to see a lot more than that. There they go. Okay, buyers should be able to lift it. We're going to look for a lift up into 44. Okay, maybe 45 now. Okay, so it kind of took us time in here. We're looking for those buyers up here around this 43 area and then a little bit higher here. Now we're looking for them to lift it. And then we're looking for our extreme readings here because we retrace back to 0 here. Okay, now we're looking for our extreme readings on both volume pressure and price change. Okay, so this we transitioned here from sideways and then also sellers being in control here and the sideways back and forth, and then looking for the sellers maybe false breakout and the sellers to come back in. And we didn't get it. Instead, it was a flip and it was a breakout trade in continuation, and then basically we were looking for it up in here, okay, and then looking for a 44, 45, and maybe 50 here. The 50 is the figure up here. Okay, we got a lot of liquidity at 45. All right, so kind of tricky there from sideways action to breakout. I have found that back testing this in the sideways action here, this tool is excellent. These tools together are excellent. Yeah, Anon, I was kind of looking for that too, like just some sideways activity in here, but we had our kind of our shift and change right in here, right in here. Okay, the larger players in here, the book shifting in here, they're on the bid, they're on the offer here, they're on the bid here, they're transacting as well, but we're getting more buyers back up above it. We were getting our extreme readings in here, and we were getting them here as well. That's why we're looking for the potential drop in the trap volume here, looking for that chop and that back and forth. And instead we got a breakout. Okay, so then we started to look for it in here, and it wasn't too clear really until about here, 43 and a quarter. Okay, so anyway, let's see if they can continue. All right, now we got a nice little uptrend, and it is being tested right now. Yeah, that's right, Alois, you're on top of it. The new support and resistance algo is now called order book pressure. Right here's why we decided to change it to order book pressure, because we have volume pressure. Right, we have volume pressure imbalance. We're going to call it, therefore we're going to call it order book pressure imbalance. Makes sense, right? So that's the naming, or the nomenclature here behind it. Okay, guys, well, we're still waiting to hear from Market Pulse here, when to take profits, basically, right? Again, now this is something again and again, like it's something to back test and look for. Just make sure align it with liquidity. Okay, like for example here we can align this. Both were extreme moves, or I'm sorry, no, one was extreme move, but it was up into this liquidity here. Okay, that's not a bad place to consider taking some profit. Okay, let's see if we get it. We get it here now too. Okay, waiting to hear this kick off. All right, so there's volume pressure starting to just ping a little bit. Okay, looking for a bit more here. I want to see like some stops hit, and I want to see it kind of really move up quickly here. Right, and then I would like to take some profit, not just off of this small little reading here. I'm looking for more extreme reading in market pulse. Okay, and then we're going to jump over and cover Trader Map Pro. All right, we got the order book on our side here. Okay, so love to see these guys start to pull. Love to see the buyers come in. See the skew here, 44 and 3/4, and sellers actually take them on. Okay, now doesn't matter. We're still looking for buyers back up above it here. Guys, one of the things to look for with this market pulse, these market pulse tools, they will never go below 0 if it's always positive. So let me try to explain here. So the way half-life works in here on these settings here. So we have two different settings. No, price change doesn't have it. It's volume pressure. Okay, so we have two different settings in here basically. Well, we have your threshold, you have your volume, but these two, right? So you have the half-life period and training period. Training period means it's based off of 5 minutes here in this case, which is, you can change it, right? But it's based off of 5 minutes of data. A constant 5 minutes, always 5 minutes. Okay, so a second passes by is the next 5 minutes, including the new second. Right, so a sliding window of data. And then the half-life period is also sliding, but it's 10 seconds. I mean, basically, and every 10 seconds, let's suppose like 1,000 trade here in the S&P. And then in 10 seconds, nothing else trades. Okay, it was 1,000 buys, buy orders, market buy orders. And nothing trades in 10 seconds, it'll be the half-life. It'll go half the distance back to 0. So it would be 500. Okay, and another 10 seconds passes by. There we go. Now we're getting our extreme readings. Yeah, I think this is a good place to look for taking some profit here. Okay, right up there we go, 46.5, right? Okay, we had our reasons. It's still going. But we had our reason. Now, again, this is something to back test, right? Because I hate to get out of momentum. I can't stand it. But we had our reasons. We're back testing this. We had extreme readings in market pulse and price change. Those are good. That's good reasoning. And we also had liquidity here. Okay, and that's good reasoning too. Now there's still more buying pressure above it, right? Maybe we look for a retracement back to 0. My point on the half-life is the retracements will always be back to 0, but it will never get to 0. Right? It's always half the distance to 0 from the previous 10 seconds. Right? So now the only reason that it dipped below 0 here is because selling came in. Right? So I just wanted to make sure that was clear. Right? And how this works. All right, guys. Well, anyway, I want to reiterate in here, this is for something to take a look at and to back test. Because in the end, what we know matters is the context of the order flow. but this can give some good insight and reasoning here to order management, but you just need to test it and put it into perspective here, right? The reason I say this is because well, the order flow rules, and indicators are just indicators, right? It is understanding this context between the players in the market that we want to understand. Okay? Else why not just put MACD or RSI in the indicator? Then we're back to like we take our trading strategies back like 10 or 15 years, no more than that. But maybe when you first started trading, you're looking for candlesticks and RSI. Well, we want to know a lot more. We want to know about how much volume, how did it transact in the way up? How about the liquidity here in the context? This gives us so much more information than indicators, right? We just want to mix the two together. So go ahead, trade your RSI and your candlesticks. Just make sure that you understand the volume within that context, the order flow, the limit order book within that context. That will make all the difference. Algos don't take holidays. That is correct. And one of the most it's well known. I mean, one of the most annoying and frustrating elements of algos and the way that they trade is it's not based on time. It's based on events. So it's looking for if then this happens, whatever it might be. It will just sit there and sit there and sit there until the event happens, and then it all cascades at once. And if you want a good example of that, jump over to your crypto markets, and you will see that. You will be sitting there all day long looking to trade, and then all of a sudden the event occurs and it all unfolds. All right. So, and I think we're just going to see more and more of that, especially with AI. And a lot more volatility. The players are going to be different, right? They're going to be looking at different things. And that's where us as traders, we have to understand how that market has changed. And then we have to understand the new context. Okay. All right, let's close up Market Pulse. I think this was a pretty good demo, understanding, and we saw the shift in here too. So we got kind of caught up in it, but we saw the shift. We saw some nice moves back and forth in here in Market Pulse in a sideways market. And then we had our breakout and we're like, that's tough to kind of swallow. But then we saw it again, and then we're looking for the continuation, right? And then we're looking for a move up, up into, I think it was this liquidity up in here, right? Something like that. And then we're saying like that's not a bad place to get out, and look at it. It's not a bad place to get out. Now this is again where you can look at your price structure as well in here. So take a look at this, right? So here's our channel, basically. Get better at it here. Yeah, here's our price channel here. Okay. All right. So we have our price channel. We have high liquidity and extreme readings in Market Pulse of price change and volume pressure. So there's some good reasoning there now. We have the market structure as well. Right? So, these are the things to take a look at. To back test and work into your trading strategies. It's not going to take much to work these into a trading strategy. It's really right in front of us. It doesn't get much easier for back testing. Right, so lots of things to consider here. All right, let's actually close up Market Pulse, and then we're going to add Trader Map Pro on here. Okay, now Trader Map Pro is a really interesting one. Guys in the Bookmap Academy, I'm going to also give you access to Trader Map Pro. Okay, so there's some new algos in there that we created for Trader Map Pro. So if you're interested in that, now there's a caveat in here, or not a caveat, but like a requirement in here. We need you to start making some content from this, playing around with it. We can give you feedback on it, and that's what we'll cover, for example, in the upcoming Bookmap Academy meeting, which will be Wednesday at the close of the market. Right, so we're going to give access to this Trader Map Pro tool, make some content out of it so we can cover it. We can go through the use case scenarios, look at how someone's using it, etc. Look, for example, at some of the content that, well, we've gone over slowdowns, stands, jacks, robs, many others in here, and a lot of Shark Blue is now, he's all over it as well, creating some really good stuff in here. And is it helping your trading? I'm asking, so please in Discord, let me know, or what do you think is better to cover? Okay, D&T Matter, is this helping your trading? It should. You have to pay much closer attention to exactly what you're doing, and you have to articulate it. You have to physically write it down and mark it up. And that's going to help tremendously. So, oh, great, Stephen, it's helping you. Yeah, it's good to hear. I mean, like, I just think it's such a win-win. Continue to do this, and you're going to block out trading strategies. Even veteran traders in here, by doing this, you're going to block out new trading strategies for yourself, and you already know that. So this is no new news, but you'll be able to get Bookmap for free if you continue to do that. Some of you guys are already slotted here for Bookmap Academy, and you will get Bookmap for free. All right, so anyway, let's add this Trader Map Pro in here, and you get free access to these pre-released add-ons in here as well. Yeah. I'm going to deselect Trader Map Pro. We're going to add the oh yeah, here it is here, Trader Map Pro. All right, so actually, you know what, I'm going to jump over to NASDAQ on this one. I want to show you guys something, because those of you trading the NASDAQ, I know this can be really annoying in here, but we'll take a look at the liquidity in here. It depends on the market, it depends on the time, etc. But see how these traders in here, or these algos in here, we've demoed this many times over. These are stacker algos that they continue to keep their position in the queue by pulling and adding liquidity, and they will be closer to the front of the line than us. And that's why they're doing this, and that's why you see this behavior, and that it's annoying because it's high liquidity, and they keep on adding and pulling. So you see this halo around the price action, right? And it's distracting, and we can't really separate out the wheat from the chaff in here. Like, where is the real liquidity? And you can see some of it in here for sure, like here, right? They stayed in the order book here. They traded into it and actually through it. So this is a nice little breakout here. Other high liquidity in here. See how it's kind of difficult. I mean, you can see it in here in some of these areas, right? And you can see it starting to come in some of these areas here also. Pretty far away from current price. Okay. So also, yeah, in here some traces in here. Well, this 16,000. Of course, we're going to see liquidity there. Right, here's some in here that stayed in the order book. All right, so it's a little harder to read though. Okay, so we've got a solution here. Okay, we'll go to Trader Map Pro. Click on this. We're going to add a new map. And this is actually going to open up a whole new chart. And I'll show you that in just a second. And then we're going to add some filters in here. Okay, one is going to be duration. Okay, because we can see that this algo here is pulling and adding liquidity all the time. They're not staying in the order book for a long time. We're just noting, see these areas where they are staying in the order book for a long time. That's what we want to look at. So let's filter it out. Okay, so if they don't stay in the order book for a duration here, let's just say 2 minutes. Okay, and we'll press play. All right, let's go check it out. Okay, so now note what it did here. Opened up a new symbol. Our NASDAQ symbol is here. It opened a new symbol here, and look at the name of it. NASDAQ, Z for December, 3 for 2023, CME, and then this is dash order duration filter at TraderMap Pro. Okay, so it's a whole new symbol. Now we filtered it out. And we're going to add another one in here though and filter it even better. Note the distinction in here between this and in fact, let's just hold on a minute. Use this tool here and we'll kind of zoom a little bit. Okay, and we'll jump back to NASDAQ. This is the same chart. Well, no, I'm sorry, it's a different chart. It's the same instrument, but we'll look at the order book in here. See how nicely it's filtered out a lot of that noise. Maybe this is enough for you, but we're going to even do more. All right, so wait, there's more. All right, so note this spread in here now too. Yeah, Stephen, there's there's a lot of kind of fiddling in here to do and find something that really works nicely for you in here, because you can see now the spread. Look at how wide it is. Why? Because it's based off of this new setting on the duration of orders that have been in the book for 2 minutes or longer. So that new spread in here is based off of that, right? So it's a synthetic instrument that we've created here, synthetic order book based off of the MBO data. Okay, now actually I think duration is not now we could do that without the MBO data, but some of these other ones though that I'm going to show you, you cannot. So let's go back to our filter in here, TraderMap Pro, and we're going to add another one in here. Okay, we're going to create a new one. Let's see, I think I have to go back to the original instrument, and then we click on it. Doesn't matter. All right, I should be able to pause it. Okay, I pause it. I can add another one now. Okay, so that's how you do it. Click on add, and then we're going to do a order size filter. Okay, click on that, and we're going to look at or I'm sorry, is it order size filter that or is it hold on a minute. Order change filter. Okay, change by or not changed. So we're gonna select not changed by price or size. Okay, so our filter in here is okay, we've got that. And we want to add one more now. So I need to add them kind of at the same time here, right? So now we're going to add our duration here. Okay, so that's we won't be able to add it to the other one. We'll have to create a new symbol here. Basically, you can see it's gone already up here. All right, so you can continue to add, and then you press play, and then it will have the new changes in here. So we have the change in here. I don't want this one. Okay, I just want not changed by price and size. And then the next one is here, which is the duration, which we had earlier. We're going to redo it and have 2 minutes. All right, so is it clear now? You add here, and you can add multiple. Okay, we can add another one. We're going to stick with these two though, and then you can delete them here individually. Okay, and then you just press play, right? And then let's take a look at this one now. Stephen, I love this tool. I think it's amazing. And I think you can really kind of find a needle in a haystack here if you're looking for something very specific. It's amazing. All right. Well, let's see what we get here. All right, so for this is now these filters are working together. Okay, so what does it mean? It means for 2 minutes in here, we're looking at orders that were not changed. Okay, so that's got at least 2 minutes. Maybe we have to go back more. Maybe we have to go back 5 minutes. Okay, we've got to play around with it to get what we want. Now look at the spread has even widened out even more here. Okay, because we're taking a lot of liquidity out of the order book. So this condition is only true for the liquidity that is in the current or historical book. Right now, this is giving us pretty good insight here. Look at this is longer term liquidity in here, at least 2 minutes, and it didn't change. And look at this selling right into it here. Okay, now let's take a look here. What does it look like volume wise over here? And look at the order book is bidding up under here. So I am now looking for buyers in here to trade it up to here. Okay, up to 16,018 or 20. I'm looking for the buyers. And this could be our trap right here, our trap volume. And then now I'm looking for buyers. Now I don't see much up here yet. Okay, this is where we're going to get our answer. It's going to be right now. Okay, and we're looking for them. Okay, we're looking for our buyers. We're looking for the breakout here of this small range here above this 13, and then the move on up into 18 and 20. Would love to see. Now we're not going to see order book underneath here unless it just price stays here for a while, and then those guys stay in the order book for and don't change their price. And they stay in there for 2 minutes or more. So we won't see the order book really underneath us unless it meets that condition. Does that make sense? Okay, so really now what we're looking for then is it's got to be the aggressor, right, who lifts this. RJ, this is a new version of TraderMap Pro that I can give you access to. Okay, you will need to be part of the Bookmap Academy though. All right, let's see here. All right, we're doing all right over in YouTube. Okay, we've hacked around a bit here. We got some buying up in here, and then now equal amount of selling in here. So didn't get too much out of that. Another thing, this is amazing. I'm amazed by it. Bookmap has put together, both of these filters now are working together off of each other. Okay, we've developed something called Broadcast API, which means that now we're getting our buyers, guys. Now I'm really looking for it here. Okay, I'm looking for these buyers to try to lift it through this here. Okay, huge spread. Like I said, no, they just can't. They can't take it above this selling in here. It was starting to look promising. CVD, going to the upside in here. What was I going to say here? Oh yeah, so this broadcast API and how this can work here is we can add market pulse to this chart, and this is amazing. So let's look for volume pressure imbalance. I'm going to switch in here to a new instrument, and here it is right here. Okay, so I'm going to switch it to this synthetic instrument that we created. So basically, let me put it this way. Well, you can see it's indicators working off of other indicators or other filters. That's how it's working. This is really powerful. It's amazing. All right, let's click play. And now we're looking to hear, or we want to hear, the volume pressure in here, and looking for a move to the upside here. Let me use an analogy. What it's kind of like, you know, with your for those of you that know Excel, Excel spreadsheet, for you put your data into it, and then you use a pivot table, for example, to look for, and you filter for very specific data. Okay, looking for that needle in a haystack. And then what you can do is within the pivot table in the spreadsheet, you can add macros or other studies on top of that filtered data. It is the same we're doing here, which is great. It's a real big benefit here. I can't wait to the point where we can start to hook this up with execution algos. Okay, some pretty amazing stuff in here. I mean, we're really filtering the market here, okay, in ways that I've never seen it before. All right, looking for our buyers here, looking good, looking for them to take it up into 18 or 20 here. Okay, we've been going back and forth, and they're still auctioning off up here, or buying. So I am looking for the breakout here. It's done it enough here. Okay, so anyway, gotten enough back and forth. We've gotten our answer here in terms of the order flow and the buyers. Okay, just careful here for the false breakout into the trap. Is just looking for the continuation in NASDAQ. NASDAQ is one thing nice about the NASDAQ is you usually get these momentum moves that continue. The S&P will chop a lot. Okay, if the NASDAQ doesn't do what you want, then just get out, because you don't want to get caught up in these things here, right? We gave it a shot here, and then looks like it might be a false breakout, right? So just get out. Right, the NASDAQ is pretty nice in that regard, in my opinion. Now here we go again. Now they're back up. I think the buyers got it. Now they've got it. All right, so that would have been like a small loss, and then back in, and now looking for the push. Right, we got our answer here. Right, they retested here, and the sellers weren't able to take it lower, and we got more buyers back up here. All right, let's take a look in Trader Map Pro where it might go. Well, we have 16,050 up here. Be a good target. Still back and forth in here. They're still fighting it in here. I guess it's European close, so we're getting some back and forth in here. Yeah. Okay, all right, buyers. Now we're below this swing here. and we're trading into this block of liquidity in here in Trader Map Pro. Okay, higher liquidity is a bit lower here though, and we're going to get our move lower. Come on, buyers, let's see it here. It's auctioning up here, just back and forth. All right, buyers, right here, right now, right back up here, 17 to 20. Looking for it. You can see look at the high liquidity in here that just moved up. Okay, that's a good sign. So we can see the pulling a little bit easier, I think, in the spread. Okay, they should be adding higher as well. And buyers should be able to do this. And they cannot. Is this available on iPhone? No. I have seen it on iPad years ago. I don't know how someone did it, but they were able to do it. We don't support it, put it that way. Really choppy. Not anticipating this. And then we just see the buyers continue to lift it. Hmm. Okay, well, we got the volume pressure here that worked off of the off this move on the downside. Here they come right back again. So some tricky moves in here. I'm still looking for buyers. I still think they auctioned up here a bunch of times. We can still come up here and then break out. And yeah, they're starting to come in, but we need the follow through here. Maybe this is just European close kind of back and forth, but I'm still looking for them to press it higher. We didn't do our analysis on the higher time frames in here. Higher time frames is well, was on this daily chart here. You can see that we're breaking the highs here, starting to break out here on the ES. Also on the hourly, we already did that, and it's still trading higher. On the 15-minute chart, it's still doing that too. So you know, this is still bullish here until we see something different. Okay, now I don't know what NASDAQ looks like. That's the ES, but I imagine it's somewhat similar. And let's see here over in Discord. Yeah, D&T. I was just on a meeting earlier about turning off the best bid and offer in here. Yes, you can, and that helps. There's also cross BBO algo here. that you can use, and then we can look for NASDAQ VBO on here as well. And we should be able to see the regular best bid and offer. Okay, now I think the developer was telling me though that there's some issues there at the moment, something like that. But we should be able to transfer the best bid and offer from NASDAQ over to our Trader Map Pro. Yeah, and here it is. Right, here it is. So there you go. So maybe that helps with price structure between this filtered liquidity heat map there. Right, so that helps us. Right, instead of looking at this big spread, which that spread actually is not a bad thing to access either, because it is showing kind of market making levels in here where larger players are willing to provide their liquidity. Right, so it's not a bad thing to take a look at here. So we can have both on here at the same time. Right, so you can see like you know, these areas of liquidity in here or in the spread, this is where we seem to kind of ping back and forth. So right here, this is where right now, right here, we got to get we're having our buyers come in, and now they've got to move it. Right, we're at the top of the range here from the spread on the Trader Map Pro. So right here is where we just have to see. There they go. All right, we should see now the move up into 15 and higher here. Okay, so we traded into it, and it immediately sold off. Okay, but we know that there's some buying pressure up here. Boy, it's being quite a tricky. I'm trying to catch this here. Yeah, and then look at the spread really narrow in here. This is interesting on that Trader Map Pro. Okay, back to the bottom of the spread here. Spread narrowed, but it traded here. It traded, right? So we're still looking for it. Still looking for our buyers up here. And I'm looking for this breakout here still. It retested these areas many times here. Now it should be a pretty powerful breakout too. Okay, not only to 20, I mean above. Here we go, right? And now looking just for momentum here. Now, why are we looking for momentum? All of these sellers here, all of that stuff that we were looking at earlier, and the sellers being the trap, and now we're looking for the move higher. Okay, and we're looking for momentum here. Okay, there's a pullback immediately. Still looking for buyers though. Oh, you mean to trade from it here? That will not work. DNT matter. Yeah, it's a good thought. That will not work though. That's what I think the developer was talking about. Yeah. All right, so let's see if we get a bit of a move back up. Nope, nothing. Boy, it's really being kind of a bastard here. Still looks good too up here. Try to move higher. It was still in play, put it that way. Rob, this is one of your setups in here, looking for kind of a bounce off. We have a trend line here, but you know, you're looking at your high volume node in here. Here it is. bouncing off of that, looking for the continuation here to the upside. All right, it's still bullish in that sense. Okay, we got some support in here. Trader Map Pro doesn't really give us some support until about this area here at 08 3/4. All right, guys. Anyway, some lots of different new tools to play around with and get access to if you're interested. And again, this broadcast API, I mean, you can look at these things all in combination. Okay, like for example, the support and resistance here. Now, we're not getting much out of the volume pressure actually from Market Pulse, but we certainly will with support and resistance. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Here's our Trader Map Pro, and then we'll look at well, it's going to be called order book and balance, right? And then we'll press play here. Okay, so this is working off of this filtered heat map, no doubt about it, right? In fact, let's go to here, and there we go. Right, so this is where we're getting our extreme readings here in order book and balances. It makes sense too. I mean, it's trading into these areas in here. In this sense, that one's working pretty well. Okay, and here come our buyers, still looking for this move higher, and it should be really good now. Come on, buyers, where are you? They just kind of nibble away at it, but they're still buying up here. And I'm just looking for the squeeze here, and then that big, swift move here. We've got the sellers on the run. See, this kind of pulling away like this really quickly is great. Now here's our trap if we can get the buyers up here. Okay, the big green dot up here, and that's the if. All right, starting to, and then sellers starting to, looking better. Now these are volume delta dots. Okay, buyers looking for that swift move right now. There's our buyers. Now note that the stop or icebergs and stops will not work in here on this Trader Map Pro. Okay, because we filtered the data, so it is very different now. All right, so just note that. So yeah, we have to deselect it. Unless you want to look at filtered stops and icebergs, or at least icebergs. Okay, I think we can show stops. Yeah, see how it says it's not supported by this instrument here. All right, you can go to the knowledge base here and it'll tell you why. Anyway, guys, some really great tools in here. Really, this is like next level stuff, and you can really dig deep into this, especially maybe some of you like bonds traders out there, maybe even crude oil, not just the stock indexes, and really filter for some of these things in here using this Trader Map Pro tool. All right. All right. So just to recap, we covered the Market Pulse tool. We talked about this Trader Map Pro, and we went through mostly the ES early on, and then we went through the scenarios in here with this price change as well as the volume pressure, and then looking at the order flow to match some of these ideas when back testing your market pulse with the price change and the volume pressure. These are just a few scenarios to come up with. You can see that it's almost, and there's going to be hundreds or thousands of different combinations now on what it is you want to access. You can look at multiple volume pressure tools, multiple for the same instrument. You can look at those now filtered on TraderMap Pro, and this support and resistance in here is now filtered by this heat map. Okay, it is the parent, and the child indicator off of that or add-on is market pulse. Right, so with our broadcast API. Guys, have a good rest of your day. We'll catch up tomorrow, and then we'll have the Bookmap Academy meeting, trader reviews, and mentoring on Wednesday. All right, take care. Bye-bye.